What's up guys, I'm Miasma Geek, and today we're making a tutorial for a twin stick shooter on mobile devices. We are going to be adding the movement and aiming controls to a touchscreen twin stick shooter. Alright, just to show you guys what I have real quick, we have the movement right here using the 8 direction behavior, and then we have the aiming. Alright, so the first thing we got to do here is add the UI layer and then appropriately adjust the settings for it. So let's go ahead and create that layer at the top. And then change parallax to 0, 0. All right, and that should be everything that we need to do here. All right, now that we got the UI layer on here, we got to start creating some of our objects. So we only have the walls and the background right now. So we're going to create a new object. It's going to be a sprite, and this is going to be the player collider. Okay, and for the player collider, I'm just going to do 64 by 64 for pixels. And then we're going to just set it to be green. That's not green. Green. Awesome. So we got this. Let's go ahead and create a new object. This one we don't want showing up in our layout. You can go ahead and delete it later if you accidentally clicked on it. But it's going to be a sprite, and we're going to do player animator. All right, and click. Well, I guess we'll delete it in a second. So for your player animator, this is going to be your player's gun or your player sprite here, like what I have. All right, and I'm going to copy and paste it in here and crop. And then I'm going to adjust the origin point as well. Okay, I'm going to put that right about, doesn't have to be perfect. All right, get rid of that. All right, the next thing that we're going to add here is the thumbstick and the thumb pad. I'll start with the thumb pad, and I'm going to copy and paste the sprite that I already have set aside for it as well. Okay, and create another new object. This is going to be the thumbstick. Same as before, I already have a sprite set aside for it. Copy and paste and crop. And then the last object that we're going to be adding in this video is the touch. Okay, now that we have all the objects that we're going to need, we actually have to add behaviors to these objects if we haven't already. So let me unhide everything we got here. We're going to start with the player, and we're going to add the 8 direction behavior and scroll to. So go ahead and make sure that you are pressing down on control and select both of these behaviors. All right, and then we're going to adjust the 8 direction behavior, or at least I am. I'm going to set the max speed to 400. I'm going to set this to 1600 for acceleration, and then I'll do 2400 for deceleration. Then, this is absolutely important. You got to make sure that you do this. Set the angle to no. You don't want the collider, which is going to be invisible, to be moving around and rotating based on your direction while you're moving if you can't even see it. It's going to mess up your collision. So make sure you set the angle to no. Also, check allow sliding, and then disable default controls. One more thing that you have to do with the player collider while you have him selected is disable initial visibility. All right, now let's go to our player animator and add the pin behavior. And then we can go to the thumbstick and add the last 2 behaviors that we need for any of our objects here. We're going to need the pin behavior and the drag and drop behavior for the thumbsticks. And the thumbsticks and the thumb pad actually need something additional. It's not a behavior, it's a variable. We're going to set the thumbstick's first variable and only variable for this video. We're going to set its name to which stick, and it's going to be a string. Leave the initial value blank for now. Actually, for the stick, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and delete the stick off the layout. You don't need it at all. Okay, and for the thumb pad, create another variable. We're going to do which pad. Make sure you set the type to string. Click OK. All right, and then change the which pads variable to move. Okay, and then copy and paste this pad, and then change the variable for the copied object to aim. Now we have to edit the collision polygon for the thumbstick so that it's big enough to where the player can pretty much click on it even if they're just a little bit off. So click on the thumbstick, right click, edit animations. Go to the bottom left where it says edit the collision polygon, click on that, and then come over here to resize and set it to be just a little bit bigger than what your thumb pad was set to. So for me, my thumb pad was set to 256 by 256. I want to do 272 by 272, and then make sure down here where it says image that you have it to stretch. Click OK, then right click and guess polygon shape, then clear the image, go back to your original sprite and paste your sprite in here. So now we have the original sprite, but with a larger collision polygon, so that when you click around it, it'll still register. Now we can go to start coding. The first thing we're gonna do is make sure that the player collider spawns in the player animator, and then we're gonna have the thumb pads spawn in their respective thumbsticks. So let's go over to our event sheet, add event, player collider. We'll do on created. So when the player collider is created, it is going to spawn another object. That object is going to be the player animator. Then we're going to set the layer for the player animator to be equal to player collider dot layer name. And then you can click done, add another action, go to player animator, and pin to object. Click player collider for the object we're pinning to, and then deselect angle. Now click done, add another event, and do thumb pad on created, add an action, thumb pad, spawn another object, thumbstick, and for layer, same thing as before, we're going to do thumbpad dot layer name. Then we will add an action, go to thumbstick, set value for variable, and then set which stick equal to thumbpad dot which pad. Now go back to add another action, click on thumbstick, and we'll do pin at distance, and then we're going to pin to thumbpad. The mode, we're going to do rope style. Click done, and then go to add another action, and then click on thumbstick, and we're going to set the pin distance. You want the pin distance to be half of the total width of your thumb pad. So for me, 256 divided by 2 is going to be 128. So 128. Click done. All right, now we can get on to the main part of this video, which is adding the touchscreen controls. Make sure you go to add an event, click thumbstick, and then find drag and drop is dragging, and then copy and paste this. Click on the condition for is dragging on the second one, and then press I or right click it and select invert. Then go back to the original action, press B to create a blank sub event, go to thumbstick, and then we will compare instance variable, and we're going to do move for the first one. Copy and paste this. For the second one, we'll do aim. Then for both of these, we're going to add the same condition. Add another condition, go to thumbpad, compare instance variable, and we'll do which pad is equal to thumbstick dot which stick. Right? And then copy and paste the first one over to the second sub event. Now go ahead and click on the which stick equals move event and create a sub event. Okay, go ahead and click on your first sub event here for the move stick. Press B to create another blank sub event, and then double click to add a condition. Go to thumbstick, and then find compare Y, and then click greater than for the comparison. And for the Y coordinate, we're going to be checking to see if it's greater than the thumbpad. So thumbpad.y. Copy and paste this, and then we'll change the comparison to less than. Okay, and then copy and paste it again, but we're going to click on it and go back and compare the x. And then we'll go compare x greater than thumbpad x. Copy and paste, and we'll do less than thumbpad x. Okay, and now here's the easy part. Click on your first action here and go to player collider, simulate control, and we're checking to see if the thumbstick, We're checking to see if the thumbstick's Y value is greater than the thumb pad's Y value. And then for the next one, we're just going to do the opposite. So we're going to go up. Right, and then it's just the same as the American grid system over here. So if it's greater than the thumb pad X, then we're just going to go right, and then the opposite right here. Now go down to your aim event and add an action. Go to player animator, and then set angle. And the angle we're going to be setting it to is angle, parentheses, and we'll do thumbpad.x, thumbpad.y, then we'll do thumbstick.x, and then thumbstick.y, and then close that parentheses and press done. Now we have to make sure that when we're not dragging on the thumbstick that it's going to return to the center of each thumb pad. Click that, copy it, and then click on the event here for not dragging. Paste it in there, drag it below the thumbstick's condition, and then click add action and go to thumbstick and set position to another object. For the object, you're going to want to choose thumb pad, and then the image point's going to be 0. That's going to be the center of your thumb pad if your origin is set correctly in the image editor. All right, now we can test it. So you can go ahead and run it in your computer just to see if it works. And then from there, all right, it's working. From there, you can do a remote preview. So with a remote preview, you have a link or a QR code that you can scan with your mobile device to just go ahead and test a mobile game right off the bat. But here we go. So we have the link here. My tablet does not have a QR code reader. At least I don't think it does. Yeah, my tablet does not have a QR code reader on it. I gotta get one. But let's go ahead and start a screen recording. Okay, and let's look up the link on here. And here we go. Everything is working all at the same time, although it is a little bit snappy, and I don't like that. That will be something that we fix in a later video, though. We're going to make it to where the player's angle transitions more smoothly. We're also going to make it to where the player's speed is going to change based on how far away from the center the thumbstick is from the thumb pad. And then we're also going to make it to where the player will shoot. If you drag the thumbstick all the way out to the edge, it will start to shoot. Then we'll add, reload buttons, contextual interaction buttons, all that kind of stuff. But for now, this is going to be all for today's video. All right, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped you guys out with whatever projects you're working on. If you want to see more videos like this one, make sure that you subscribe. And if I helped you out at all, I'd appreciate a like on the video. Anyways, I'm Myaz McGeek. Thank you for watching, and have a good one. That was goofy.